Hello everybody, my name is Sandeep and I'm going to talk to you today about the water crisis in Tamil Nadu and the processes that brought Tamil Nadu to have this water problem. I will also point out the possible solutions that I see in averting this issue. There are many more solutions than the ones that I'm going to point out, but I have chosen some that I find the most readily available and the important ones. I will get to the other solutions in following videos. As we know, all of life depends on water. From farming and agriculture to industry and for domestic use, water is essential for forests, plants and all beings on earth. So what's the problem with water in Tamil Nadu? Why is it such a big problem here? Before engaging with these questions, let's quickly look at the basic water facts. Tamil Nadu enjoys two monsoons annually, the northeast monsoon and the southwest monsoon. The southwest monsoon comes between June and September, while the northeast monsoon comes from November to January. This western side of Tamil Nadu, with Nilgiris and the Kongu Nadu, receives more of its rain from the southwestern monsoon, while the eastern part of Tamil Nadu, from Chennai all the way down to Thoothukudi and Tirunelveli, receive most of their rainfall from the northeast monsoon in winter. The northeastern monsoon gives roughly 50% of the annual rainfall in Tamil Nadu. Most of the water that Tamil Nadu receives flows eastward towards the Bay of Bengal and the Cauvery basin. So, why the water shortage in Tamil Nadu? Rural Tamil Nadu struggles from water shortage in the summers, but urban Tamil Nadu struggles from water shortage even during the monsoon. Let's check out some of the reasons for this. Tamil Nadu receives 4,400 TMCs, 1,000 million cubic feet of rainwater annually. That is, 4,400 TMC water accounts only for the rainwater that falls in the state boundaries and is excluding all the water flowing from neighboring states and from the Cauvery. In comparison, Tamil Nadu is only storing 1,600 TMC per annum for the use of the state. 1,600 TMC is the currently built up entire water storing capacity of the state. So basically, the rainfall in the state as well as the water flowing into Tamil Nadu from neighboring states, which is more than 2,800 TMC, more than 2/3 of the water that Tamil Nadu receives flows immediately into the ocean without protection. I mean, no wonder we have a water shortage. In order for the underground aquifers to get replenished, water bodies must be filled up slowly and consistently. Now, do we have control over how fast and how consistently we collect water? Rain falls when it falls, right? Well, it turns out that forests, grasslands and natural habitats do exactly this. Forests are very efficient at collecting rainwater. The roots, plants, shrubs and grasses hold water and allow it to trickle away in the season. According to a recent study published in 2018, deforestation has resulted in an annual decrease of an average of 1.35 millimeter of annual southwest monsoon rainfall in Tamil Nadu between 1951 and 2010. In the monsoon period, atmospheric temperatures have also risen by an average of 0.03 degrees centigrade in Tamil Nadu. If the number 0.03 degree appears to be marginal for 1 year, over the last 70 years there has been an increase of about 2 degrees centigrade in the atmospheric temperature in Tamil Nadu. Between 1920 and 2013, 35% of the Western Ghats forests were lost. The bulk of this 35% deforestation has happened in Karnataka, Maharashtra and Kerala. In fact, in Tamil Nadu, not only has deforestation been reduced, but between 1989 and 2019, the forest cover of Tamil Nadu has actually increased by percentage. This is definitely something for Tamil Nadu to be proud of. Although we are dependent on other states and the water that comes from other states, it's not the biggest issue. However, I wouldn't jump up and make a fuss about it too soon. I don't think this is much of a reason to celebrate, or is it a reason to attack neighboring states? And here's why. According to the Forest Department's 2018 project report, the Tamil Nadu government has set a target of 33% of the total surface area of Tamil Nadu to be covered by forests by 2030. That's 9 years from now. But from 2018 to this day, there has been absolutely no difference to speak of. One might think, they might do it soon, But in fact, in these 3 years, Tamil Nadu has even reduced its forest budget. Seeing this, it is doubtful whether the government will be able to deliver on its promises. Forests take time to grow. It's not like in 2029 they can just decide and cover all of the 33% of forests. Forests need to be pre-planned and begun at least 5 to 10 years in advance. So, why do I talk about deforestation in relation to water conservation? Without forests, the water would reach the rivers very fast and the dams would overflow and the rivers would flood. We have seen this and experienced these events many times in the past. In cities, flood protection depends on efficient urban planning and regulation. It is the duty of the state to keep the drains and sewers clean and to maintain them without blockages. Almost every year the city of Chennai is flooded. In 2015, Chennai was hit by the worst floods in 100 years. When a city is so prone to floods and cyclones, the question arises as to how come no proper planning has been done for flood management and disaster management. Suppose a person has a plot of land in which he is farming on, using the water that he pumps from his borewell. One day, if the farmer's neighbor digs a deeper well and pumps double the amount of water than the first guy, the first farmer, his water supply will decrease and he suffers. Thus, there are regulations for drilling wells and deep wells. In addition, there are safety measures for drilling these deep wells as well. But with corruption and carelessness, many do not follow these rules. Many accidents have occurred in Tamil Nadu due to the improper construction of deep bore wells. But the presence of unaccounted bore wells poses a greater threat and also complicates the situation further, as the statistics on the number of bore wells and the amount of water being pumped from various aquifers becomes inaccurate. Inaccurate statistics on borewell simply means that we cannot know the problem until the water shortage becomes severe. Data and information on borewells are very limited in the state of Tamil Nadu. However, several studies have already called the alarm across the Indian plateau and in Tamil Nadu for the risk of groundwater depletion in the very near future. Apart from groundwater, we rely on lakes and rivers for water. Tamil Nadu has currently 2.5 lakh hectares of ponds and lakes. Tamil Nadu is the 5th largest state in India in terms of lakes. 2.5 lakh hectares is equivalent to the entire area of Puducherry district. 2.5 lakh hectares accounts for only the lakes and ponds. In terms of total water resources, Tamil Nadu is the second largest in India with nearly 9 lakh hectares. 9 lakh hectares is larger than the Himalayan state of Sikkim. But in Tamil Nadu, we have poisoned our waters by mixing chemicals and effluents into our rivers. Illegal sand mining and pebble mining is also taking place in most rivers. Plastic wastage and pollution in our rivers and lakes is a huge problem in Tamil Nadu. Waste management and plastic details in India and in Tamil Nadu is a long story. If you want to know more about plastics and its effects, then make sure you write in the comment section below and I will make a new video specifically on this topic. Friends, today we are not fighting the issue of water scarcity at all. The main reason for the water shortage is not the lack of water, but poor maintenance, unsustainable growth, and inattention. If we all participate just a little and address these issues in three different ways, Tamil Nadu can prosper. It will. So, what are these three methods? Our leaders will not protect the water of Tamil Nadu on their own. As citizens, we must ask them to, we must compel them to. Citizens have three chances to vote in 5 years in Tamil Nadu. These are parliamentary elections, state assembly elections, and panchayat elections. These are most important things in my opinion. We have to look at the records of our election candidates, about their work, their past, their promises of environmental and water protection. And this must be a criteria when we select our leaders. If a candidate is to say Karnataka or Kerala is the problem, or Cauvery is the problem, the Karnataka is not giving us our water, we know now that these are all total lies. What does this actually mean? That the candidate has neither the intention nor the merit to fulfill his responsibility. Instead of planning to store the rainwater and find innovative ways to do so, they're just encouraging us to fight with others who, by no surprise, are also in need of water. Where do these divisive politics end? When we decide that they have ended and that we are not going to fight with others, but find an actual solution to the water shortage in the state. Do you know who manages our local water bodies? In fact, it is the duty of the panchayat to protect these. Not only that, panchayats are accountable to the citizens in the Gram Sabhas. So we all have to participate in village councils and municipal councils. Democracy can only sustain in the Indian Union if there is participation in local bodies and in elections. By participating in discussing and deciding on water policies in the local area, we can take measures to protect our water bodies. Now, on hearing this, I guess to many it might sound like really absurd or far-fetched solutions. Yeah, there is a lot of corruption and the situation seems quite demoralizing. But there are actually countless examples in India of local bodies that have been successful in implementing good water policies and projects. A village in Haryana called Chansamand, the Citizens Council and Panchayat came together and developed a beautiful treatment plant to recycle their sewage and solve the village's water shortage as well as the sanitation problems. In Maharashtra, in a little village called Latur, the brave children of the village campaigned consistently enough to wake up the panchayat into action and made them address the water shortage. Just think about it. If the children of a village can do so, can we not? A commonly used technique to solving common problems is to form alliances and associations. Using alternative technology and innovations, we can save our water bodies. In Tamil Nadu, there are many examples of this as well. These women in the village of Velur, in a village near Velur actually, formed a group with the aid of a hydrologist and the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Scheme, and they raised and restored an entire river by themselves. In Puducherry, an organization called Pondi Can is implementing the One School, One Pond project. That is, each school adopts a pond and with the help of the government, they manage to maintain it. The Kovai Kulangal Padukappu Amaippu, the Coimbatore Ponds Conservation Organization, which is restoring ponds in Coimbatore, the Salem Citizens Forum, which is protecting the lakes of Salem. There are countless such examples everywhere you go. You can easily find in each of the places where you live a place or an organization or an association that is doing work to protect your water body right near you. If you're not looking to work in groups, or you're a little bit more introverted, or you just don't have the time to work in associations and teams, as individuals too, we can accomplish a lot to conserve, reuse and recycle water. Many innovations have been developed for this. Water coming from ACs, water filters and from showers. These waters, they are not drinkable. but they can certainly be reused for plants and to flush toilets. One can also build little grey water treatment systems to treat this water. If you're planning to build a new house, when it comes to the toilet, you can build a composting toilet instead of a normal toilet. Compost toilets use a lot less water. Sawdust is poured instead of the flush system. If compost toilets seem like an inconvenient idea to you, do not be worried. The most convenient and luxurious compost toilets have been built and used in so many different countries around the world. In Switzerland and in Sittlingi, a little village in Tamil Nadu, I have personally used what I would call the most luxurious toilets in friends' houses, and believe me, they were really 5-star toilets. Another efficient idea is rainwater harvesting system. Create a facility to collect rainwater that falls on the roof of your house. Add a 3000 rupee cheap filter, store in a tank, and it's ready for reuse. There are many companies building these for their customers at affordable prices in Tamil Nadu. If you live in a city, there is another reason to collect rainwater. Not only is the water getting more expensive, but the law already states that all buildings in cities must have rainwater harvesting facilities. So, if you set up the water harvesting system before the statute actually gets implemented, you might actually be able to build it at a lot cheaper price than when the state comes to your house and demands that you do it yourself. My dear friends, if we do not take care of our water and our water resources, we will soon face the possibility of our state running completely dry and our water not being there in our taps. Although many parts of Tamil Nadu are already facing water scarcity, there is still time for the situation to get better. If we act fast, we will definitely be able to reverse this scarcity and make Tamilagam really prosper. I hope you've liked my video. If you know anyone else who would like to know more about this topic, please send them this video as well. Also, leave comments below with your thoughts and suggestions. If you want to know or be notified about my new videos, just click the subscribe button below. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.